You ready to do it? Come on. Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. Man, was it a beautiful weekend. Warm weather and sunny across the country. What a disaster. Because we've all been staying inside for over 7 weeks now. And we know we should stay inside. But the beautiful weather was just too tempting. It led to huge, non-socially distanced crowds in New York City parks. Look, I understand New Yorkers. It's so nice out. You want to head to the park to watch a squirrel battle a rat over a corn cob. And it's not just New York. Down in Atlanta, crowds gathered to buy the new Michael Jordan shoes. They're really nice. The latest style is called Airborne Jordans. While public health officials are worried, one person isn't that concerned: Donald Trump. He had a Fox News virtual town hall last night, and he said it was time to hit the beach.
I really believe you can go to parks, you can go to beaches, you keep it, you keep the spread, you stay away a certain amount. And I really think the public has been incredible with that's one of the reasons we're successful. That's one of the, if you call losing 80 or 90,000 people successful.
Nobody does. I seriously doubt you'll ever hear, Trump did a great job. He really just lost 1.5 Vietnams. Besides, as Brett Baer pointed out, that's not even the right number.
That number has changed, Mr. President. You said 50,
it's going up.
60,
now it's
60,
going up.
70,
I used to say 65,000, and now I'm saying 80 or 90, and it goes up, and it goes up rapidly.
I don't get it. No matter how many times I tell states to reopen and people to party on the beach, the number just keeps going up. I mean, if this doesn't stop soon, I'm going to have Dr. Fauci throw a public health kegger. Now, no surprise, Trump is lying. He's willfully endangering the lives of Americans, and we know this because the New York Times acquired an internal government memo showing Trump administration models predict a near doubling of the daily death toll by June, proving that reopening the economy will put the nation right back where it was in mid-March. Mid-March! That means infection rates will skyrocket. Everyone will have to go back inside, and America's going to have to find a new animal exploitation true crime drama to watch. That's why I'm releasing my new show, Walrus Duke. Now, Trump believes that getting the economy moving is, at this point, the only way he can get reelected, so he's going to try to do it no matter what the risk is to Americans. I haven't seen a campaign strategy this dangerous since William Henry Harrison's tip a canoe and a scorpion down your pants. Now, you may have noticed from that footage I showed you that Trump's virtual town hall was held at the Lincoln Memorial. The choice of that venue sparked some criticism, which Brett asked Trump about.
What do you say to people who say this is not the right venue for this?
I didn't know that it was creating criticism, and I did say this would be nice, but I thought it was your choice, not ours.
This was totally your choice. I had nothing to do with us being here. And while we're on it, Brett, why didn't you do more about coronavirus testing? I can't believe you told people to drink bleach and that you cheated on your wife with a porn star. You are one sick puppy, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Social distancing guidelines already made the setup look kind of weird. Didn't help that Trump and the host sat on chairs from Regis and Kathy Lee. Now, anyone who has ever sat in one of those tall chairs knows you can't get up into it without some scooching. Fox News, I demand that you release the unedited scooch footage. What was the president's strategy? Did he get one ass cheek up and then wiggle back and forth? One big hop and then a slide that sort of makes the whole chair go back? Was he lowered in by block and tackle? The American people deserve to know. The town hall was supposed to be about reopening the country, and it was entitled America Together, Returning to Work. And Trump not only thought that the returning to work would happen soon, he thought this disaster might actually make things better.
You're going to have your job. You're going to get another job, or you're going to get a better job. You get a job where you make more money, frankly. And I think that's going to happen.
Really? A better job with more money. So it's kind of good that you ignored the virus. I think this is going to be even better because the pigs that just flew out of my butt told me they're hiring. So that's a positive. And it's not just the unemployed. According to Trump, everyone's going to be better off.
I think next year is going to be a phenomenal economic year. I think that the following year has a chance to be one of our best years. We have a transition third quarter. We're going to have a very good fourth quarter. We're going to have a great next year.
I agree with the president. I think we're going to have one of the best years in the history of our economy.
Mike Pence, where do you find the courage? I assume somewhere around Trump's butt, because that's where your head is, right there in the old bravery crack. Now, Trump's been trying to blame China. He hasn't been trying. He has been blaming China for how Trump ignored the threat of the virus for months in the United States. And he was asked how he plans to retaliate against them.
Are you considering new tariffs on China as sort of a punishment for their handling of the virus?
Well, it's the ultimate punishment. I will tell you that.
You had experts look at...
I don't like to tell you because, we're all playing a very complicated game of chess or poker. Name whatever you want to name. But it's not checkers, that I can tell you.
It's not checkers, that I can tell you. It's called chess or poker, and here's how she works. Each player gets 5 cards, 2 bishops, and 1 rook. Do anything you want as long, and I cannot stress this enough, it's not checkers. The goal of the game is... I have no idea. I'm really more of a checkers guy. I keep screaming, somebody king me, and nobody will. Trump says he wasn't warned. We just found out that Trump received intelligence briefings on coronavirus twice in January. But Trump had an explanation.
On January 23rd, I was told that there could be a virus coming in, but it was of no real import. In other words, it wasn't, we got to do something.
Yes, presidential briefings are known for being loaded with stuff that's just for funsies. That's why the briefings are always labeled, for anyone's eyes, of no real import. When Trump was asked about his combative stance toward the press, he gave this surprising assessment.
Look, I am greeted with a hostile press, the likes of which no president has ever seen. The closest would be that gentleman right up there. They always said Lincoln. Nobody got treated worse than Lincoln. I believe I am treated worse.
Really? You're going to compare yourself to Abraham Lincoln? Well, I'd like to point out that none of his supporters carried Confederate flags. Then Trump explained how tough the coronavirus is on people with pre-existing conditions.
If you have any problem, heart, diabetes, even a little weak heart, a little diabetes, this thing is vicious.
Lil Diabetes, by the way, was Trump's rap name. But Trump did propose a solution to this global pandemic.
The biggest thing we can do to solve every problem is get rid of the plague. I call it the plague. If we get rid of the plague, all these problems go away very quickly.
Wait, let me write that down. To solve the virus, get rid of the virus. Wow, what a genius. Reminds me of Einstein's famous equation, E equals E. As part of his Blame China initiative, Trump's been pushing unsubstantiated claims that the disease started in a laboratory in Wuhan. And yesterday, his conspiracy theory got the support of Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, seen here doing his De Niro. Pompeo sat down on This Week, and told host Martha Raddatz that he believes Trump's theory.
Mr. Secretary, have you seen anything that gives you high confidence that it originated in that Wuhan lab?
Martha, there's enormous evidence that that's where this began.
In fact, I saw the enormous evidence this morning, and it said, Mike, I need you to go lie to Martha Raddatz like you've never lied before. Okay, if there's enormous evidence that the coronavirus escaped from a Chinese lab, Secretary, let's hear it. Now, part of the conspiracy theory is that the virus not only escaped the lab, but was actually created in the lab. Raddatz asked Pompeo about this, and his answer was... what was his answer?
Do you believe it was man-made or genetically modified?
Look, the best experts so far seem to think it was man-made. I have no reason to disbelieve that at this point.
Your Office of the DNI says the consensus, the scientific consensus, was not man-made or genetically modified.
That's right. I agree with that. I have no reason to doubt that that is accurate.
So, he has no reason to disbelieve it's man-made, but he also has no reason to doubt it's not man-made. An answer that bizarrely contradictory can only have been spliced together in a lab in Wuhan. Though, to be fair to the secretary, Mike Pompeo did provide evidence that two things can be true at the same time. For instance, in that footage, Pompeo looked like both a liar and an idiot. Now, this global pandemic is depressing, but there is some happier news from the Smile File. Because murder hornets have arrived in the U.S. The Asian giant hornet hails from Japan, where the hornets kill as many as 50 people a year. 50 people! To put that into perspective, sharks killed 2 people in 2019. Explains why this summer's blockbuster is Buzz. One beekeeper who was stung by a murder hornet said it was like having red-hot thumbtacks driven into my flesh. Oh, I know that hurts. I once had a summer internship as a corkboard. These things are terrifying. According to one expert, they're like something out of a monster cartoon with this huge yellow-orange face. And I'm being told we have a picture of their queen. Hideous. We've got a great show for you tonight. I'll be talking to Anderson Cooper. Stick around.